Everyone, thank you so much for joining. I am honored to be able to teach these self-applied hypnosis techniques so that all the magic that I've seen happen in almost 10 years with thousands of people in these chairs, okay, in the multiple offices that I've had, but all the people's lives I've touched as a professional hypnotist, I now can empower you to be your own hypnotist and to support people with hypnosis, just like my student Len. Len started as a client and he was so blown away. If you've checked out my podcast on Co-Creation Nation, where me and my co-host Troy, another awesome master hypnotist, interviewed Len after his results, because Len is a true type A scientist. He has that analytical mind and was curious. Like I know a lot of you have curiosities about hypnosis. So Len, possibly just like you, was curious, maybe skeptical, but he tried everything, not getting what he needed, found his way to hypnosis. It changed his life. And now he's changing the lives of others. So listen in to his story, and thanks for watching. All right, Len, I know you've taken both the self-applied hypnosis techniques and the hypnosis training to the nth degree, and you've put them into practice. Can you give me, in your own words, a quick review?
Sure, absolutely. The first class I took was very interesting. It quickly proved to me that I have the capability to hypnotize people. I have the ability to help people and to pay forward the help I got myself. So I felt really good about that. And I talked about it with my kids and my girlfriend and said, hey guys, I'm thinking about doing this a little bit more detail, trying to go a little bit deeper into it. It was a big chunk of change, but I think when I came out of there, I have zero fear of putting somebody in hypnosis these days. I have zero fear of bringing them back, and I'm positive that I can help them with just about any problem they have. That is not like, I'm not going to be able to cure cancer or something like that, but I can help them deal with nausea, deal with various other body problems that you wouldn't think are caused by the mind. I'm very impressed with what I've been able to do to this point.
So you've been blown away essentially at how effective hypnosis is?
I was blown away when it happened to me as a client. So going from there, finding more and more that can be done with it, finding more and more things that the limit's really your imagination, what you can do with it. And I was like shocked to find that out. It's like there does not seem to be a limit that I've encountered yet as to what can be done with it.
You can see this like cheesy giant smile I have, and because Len, I know that that you're a serious person. You don't take these sort of metaphysical promises at face value.
Oh God, no! I'm probably the least metaphysical and spiritual person out there. When we were taking the classes, I was struggling with the theories and stuff because I think like an engineer. I don't care why it works. I just care that it works. And because of that, I want to take it, I want to place it, I want to find it, how places it fits, and other ways I can adapt it. And the theory of why it works really doesn't matter that much to me. And definitely if we're getting to the point where we're talking about spiritual guides and things like that, I'm out of the conversation. It's like, if that's your beliefs, that's your privilege, but I just don't see things that way.
I think engineering is the perfect word for it. And I know when I first dove into these ideas, that was how I thought about it. I'm engineering psychology.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I don't have the psychology background at all, as we went through the class with. That was a little drawback for me trying to figure out where exactly we're talking about, since I've never heard most of the phrases we were using.
When I'm not a psychologist, I haven't studied psychology outside of, one or two college classes, but I guess I have a psychology background because of my years in personal development, all the
It
books.
could be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have that. I was never a self-help book person or any of the pop culture. I was too busy trying to live.
yeah. You were helping yourself out there in the real world. You weren't stuck in the books. And
right.
Those self-help books, I can tell you, didn't give me the formula. It wasn't until I came across hypnosis and I thought, well, no way. If this really worked, everybody'd be talking about it.
Yeah, the one example I did give is like, I don't think anybody who is working as a hypnotist has went to college to do that, who that was their career plan to do that. It was always something they discovered in life later that worked out. And it's like they started thinking about it and said, this is what I want to do. I want to go more into this. I want to learn more about this. And on your journey of learning, you became able to help people.
You're helping people. You're a professional hypnotist helping people. And
Yes.
we're involved in some of the same, hypnosis groups now. Do you feel entertained by the eclectic personalities?
Well, the eclectic personalities, some of them I have to take with a grain of salt. When an example was there was a Native American shaman there speaking about how their tribal spirits guided them through hypnosis. And it's like, I'm sorry, I just have a hard time with that. It's like, I know you believe this 100%, but it just isn't the world that I live in.
What about when you hear from like the Air Force colonels and the naval captains, right? And people who, let's say, are more conventionally grounded and they're
Yeah.
talking about it.
Those are the people I identify with. And those are the people I'm most comfortable with. If you're grounded in reality and the real world is where you're living, as opposed to a world that I've never seen or experienced, I'm going to give you more credit for being able to speak in a language I understand.
Exactly. And it's intangible because we're talking about the mind, and it's individual because we're talking about the mind in a moment of time.
Mm-hmm.
So find whatever language, right, of worlds that you need. But the most important thing is taking these tools and giving it to someone so that they can have a benefit in their life.
Absolutely. I try to do that.
You're doing it. You've done it firsthand. I guess you're doing it secondhand. And who knows the people whose lives you're touching with hypnosis, where they'll take it.
Wow. It is kind of impressive when you think about it.
It's like you'd said, some of your testimonials of clients that you've seen changes in, like the intrinsic reward is invaluable.
Yeah, there's a couple of people I helped that I literally could not be helped by a medical doctor for what was going on for them. The medical doctor basically said, you're on your own. And they came to me and I was able to help them. And I felt so good about that. I don't know if I actually saved somebody's life with it, but I came pretty close.
Is that I could probably cry talking about it, but isn't it amazing in like just a few months that you have this effective support to offer somebody that.
Yeah, it is very impressive. I mean, I can't believe it almost. It's like, I joke about it a little bit saying it's the closest thing to being a magician in the real world. It's like you have powers that everybody has, but you're able to apply them better than most.
Do you remember in the course where I talk about hypnosis is a science and art of communication? Do you think that's a good description?
Yeah, I'm not sure I see it as much communication as I do leading, guiding. I see it more as a way to guide people and help them to help themselves. So the communication's part of it to me, but it's not the focus to me. To me, the focus is being the guide they need to get to the future self they want to be.
That was well said. Yeah, I guess I was thinking magicianry. And I think instead of that being, gestures with your hands or props, we're using the power of communication, and suggestion and imagery to make literal life-changing, brain-changing magic.
Yeah. You're helping people see things in a way they've never seen it before. You're helping them to make changes in their life that they didn't think they could make. By the time they're coming to a hypnotist, most people have tried everything before that. We're their last straw before they just give up. And when you're able to help people who have tried everything and failed, and just see the look in their face and the look in their eyes when you've helped them do something that they haven't been able to deal with their whole lives, it's like you feel wonderful. It makes you feel good.
It's amazing. Well, it was a doctor who suggested hypnosis for you initially, right?
It was a therapist, actually, a licensed counselor. He basically told me he could talk to me I was seeing about another issue. He told me he could talk to me about a year about a problem I was having, and maybe we would find a solution. Or he says, you can probably see a hypnotist and be cured in 2 or 3 sessions. Boing! Easy answer. let's give this a try. And of course, going in there, I'm not sure if I believed in it, if I was on my last straw,
Yeah.
but I probably was. I probably didn't know what my next step was going to be if this failed.
And you did your research, you put 10, 15 hours in of homework of study before you came in, and what did you have to lose?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, to me, especially at the time, I was dealing with some financial difficulties due to a divorce, and it was like I had to make very sure that I was spending money that I was going to get a result from. And I researched it to the best of my ability and was very pleased with the results. I consider it to be an ultimate bargain today.
A couple $100, it's life changing, and now you're doing this for others. And I'm so grateful, that you took these products, you not only took them, you applied them, and you I think continue to learn the more and more people that you work with.
Absolutely. I learn something new every time I do this, just about. Um, I've When I started doing it, I was basically working from scripts. These days, I will actually, if I have somebody new coming in, like if somebody coming in new tomorrow night for nail biting, I haven't worked with that before.
Mhm.
So what I'm doing is I'm taking a good look at a couple scripts for it, getting some ideas as to visuals and feelings that people have talked about with this. But I'm not going to be reading a script. I'm going to be using those as building blocks to create something custom with what I find out about them when I do the pre-talk. So it's it makes me feel like more of a chef than a cook.
Absolutely. The scripts, if you want that recipe for confidence, but when you can be a chef, you're going to make the exact right dish for that person in the best way that you as a cook could do it.
Exactly. And it's like, you don't have to reinvent the wheels because the building blocks are there in the scripts. You have some ideas from people. I'm not going to take somebody's words and put them out of my mouth, but I may take a look at the ideas they use and try to apply them. I know I have a visual I give people when they want to take something out of their life. I frequently have them see the word on a billboard and see how upset it makes them, then have them drive a bulldozer and destroy the billboard and take the word right out of their life. And that has worked so many times. I've told a couple other hypnotists about it, and they're using it now too. So I feel good about that.
I was just going to say, I mean, I haven't read that in a script, and I've read a lot of scripts, and that's original for you, and it works for you. And I bet when you say it, that sense of creativity and gusto, I mean, it really gets applied on their subconscious, and that's how we make these changes.
I believe you're right on that. I definitely know the one lady I was talking about. She was saying that her husband had told her that no man would ever want her again, her ex-husband. And I put that up on the billboard, put his name signed on it. And she was all smiles under hypnosis while she was driving that bulldozer. And she later told me she saw her ex-husband hanging from the billboard while she was doing it. But that's, I didn't suggest that part.
And they have the power. It's their mind. You're
Yeah,
just,
absolutely. I'm guiding them. They're making the journey though.
yeah,
I
yeah.
give,
Go ahead.
no, that's all I'm saying. I'm just a guide. I'm not the driver. I'm just a guide.
Yeah, and you're having so much fun, right? It's really fascinating.
It truly is. I don't know how else to say it. In fact, it is fascinating. It is impressive. And I think I made a good choice by getting involved in it.
I'll say so. And I know the 40 plus people you've helped with just today and doing this only a couple of months. And 2 years ago, if we would have met and I would have said, you're going to be a professional hypnotist.
I'd have tried to figure out what you were smoking or drinking and try to get some of that.
I guess it was the good stuff because
Yeah,
here we are.
it was about 18 months ago when we first met. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's my honor, and I'm very grateful, Len. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to share with anybody out there interested potentially?
No, I think all I can say is that for me, it was a fantastic choice. For me, it was worth every penny I put into it. What I'm expecting to get out of it in terms of just the good feeling, it made it worthwhile. If I am able to long-term turn this into an income stream to add to my money and to help me during retirement, that's fantastic. That's a great goal. But I'm not there yet, but I'm getting closer and closer every day.
You're just beginning. I mean, I know hypnotists who continue to get training after training after training. Do you feel like you need additional trainings right now, or? feel complete?
No, I think I have all the tools I need to do this professionally. Now, it would be nice to know more in detail. There's a couple areas I am weak in, but there are 5 million ways to skin a cat. If you're weak in a particular area, you're able to work around it just about all the time.
Absolutely. And, a person like you who loves learning, you'll continue studying hypnosis in the way that you need it to make sense. And if you can't find that material, you might create your own, because I feel like we're sort of refreshing hypnosis, which is why I created my business, Modern Day Hypnosis, bringing this ancient modality into modern interpretation.
Yeah, it's a great title.
Yeah. Well, Len, thank you so much. Really
No
appreciate
problem. Have a
it.
great day. We'll
You
talk to
too.
you another day. Bye-bye.
Bye.